All citizens have equal social status and are equal before the law, without regard to their sex, race, language, religion, political opinions, and personal or social conditions. It is the duty of the Republic to remove those economic and social obstacles which, limiting, in fact, the freedom and equality among citizens, hinder the full development of any human person and the participation of all workers in the political, economic, and social organization of the country. Yet, when a blind person enters a museum, goes to the theater, or to the cinema, he or she has a few probabilities of finding the instruments he or she needs to understand. Can it be defined justice? Accessibility means the possibility for people with reduced mobility or diminished sensory capacity to easily benefit of a device, of a service, of a resource, or of an environment. It is necessary for this reason to mention the architectural barrier. An architectural barrier is any architectural feature which impedes or limits the access or the mobility to some users, in particular to people with motor or sensory disabilities. It follows from this that an element which doesn't represent an architectural barrier for an individual can instead be an obstacle for another one. Some examples: steps, small doors, excessive slopes. Anyway, there are countless cases of less evident architectural barriers, such as railings that obstruct the visibility to a person on a wheelchair. Or, talking about blind people, even traffic lights without any audible warning device can be an architectural barrier. It is defined person with low vision, a person with big problems of sight, but who is not totally blind. The World Health Organization for many years has been stressing with insistence that low vision and blindness are now a priority problem for the health services all over the world. But in concrete, how can we allow a blind or partially sighted person to assist to a play or to a dance performance? Or easily, how can we give him the possibility to watch a film and understand what happens? Audio description was born to address this concern. Audio description is a technique recently introduced which makes many audiovisual products, such as films, plays, dance or sport performances, and museums, accessible to blind and partially sighted persons. It is a pre-registered or streamed live by specific devices audio track that describes costumes, locations, facial expressions, movements, and all the elements that are felt by sight. Joel Snyder, writer of The Visual Made Verbal, affirms that by using concise, vivid words that stimulate imagination, describers submit the visual element either totally or partially inaccessible to a part of the population. Audio description can be registered before, and in this case it is necessary to have a script and a professional voice. It can be live with a script, or can be pre-registered audio description without a professional voice. It can be either live without any preparation, and in this case the describer has to be ready for every inconvenience and for every change that might take place. This is used mostly for live events such as concerts or sport competitions. When writing an audio description, there are some guidelines that have to be followed. It is necessary describing appearance of people, places and things, of actions, with objectivity. It is necessary that the language of the body is described and the feelings of the characters too. The language used for registered audio description changes depending on the genre of film. It can be about a TV series, a documentary, a comedy, a musical, or a children's program as well. For this reason, it is important to learn how to anticipate the viewer, valuing his expectations. If, for example, we are going to the cinema to watch a cartoon for children, we expect many colors, music, easy and concise language, happy and funny tone. That's exactly how you should learn how to predict what a viewer expects from a certain film genre. RAI, Radio Televisione Italiana SPA, commercially signed RAI, is Italy's national public broadcasting company. It is one of the biggest media companies of Europe, the fifth television corporation of the continent. Some movies shown by RAI may be heard with audio description on the medium waves of the radio. Today, it is possible to hear the audio comments of the scenes without dialogues of some movies shown by RAI by pushing the button with the letter I, information, on the remote control of the digital terrestrial. This service is offered by the Segretariato Sociale of RAI, which has a website as well. On its website, there are many audio-described transmissions available as streaming audio. Analyzing the audio-described programs, we can easily understand that the RAI website has many television series audio-described. These are programs for adults and children. Unfortunately, the RAI website doesn't give any child the possibility to listen to an audio description of a cartoon. How can a blind child feel integrated with the others if he can't even follow the plot of a cartoon? BBC is the British public service broadcaster. It manages the BBC News website, one of the most authoritative, informative sites via web, in English and in other languages. The BBC gives the possibility to people with every kind of disability to access its programs in streaming as well. The BBC website looks more efficient than the RAI one, but to give credit when credit is due, the RAI website is much more organized. The BBC has many programs of every genre audio described, but in a single folder, while in the RAI website there are different folders to make clearer the site. To write this thesis, I have ventured into a little-known world, to many a completely unknown one. While doing it, I not only learned many things, but I above all realized what we really need. We need to feel protected and to be strong together. Safety in numbers, so we have to work on it. I hope I have shed light on some aspects that have to be improved in our society. To improve, it is necessary to change. Improvement comes from change. We need to be social committed. Each of us can make a difference. There are laws, there is theory, now we need to put things into practice. In recent years, the situation has already got better, but we can do a lot more. In our little, we can make big things. So, let's get this done.